Hi everyone, Olga is online, and today we're talking about female health from Chinese perspective, Chinese medicine perspective, as well as Kundalini yoga. A little bit too much sun into my face. Okay, much better. So, as you guys know, that I'm a Qigong practitioner, Kundalini yoga of 10 since like 2009. And why I got into Qigong is because I got sick with arthritis, and I was looking for alternative ways to heal myself because I didn't want to take chemotherapy for the rest of my life, you know. And I've already mentioned in this channel that I healed myself with Qigong. I practiced like for 3 to 5 hours. And what I wanted to say is that Qigong is such an amazing thing, amazing practice, together with Kundalini yoga. Very, very different, but both are super effective. I just find them to be effective for different things, and they have different effect on the body, mind, and spirit. So Qigong is amazing in such a way that it can heal many, many issues in the health, including female health, you know. So when we're talking about female health, we always think feminine energy, right? So in Chinese medicine, we distinguish two kinds of energies, yin and yang. Yin energy is the one that is more soft, feminine, anything that is opposite of strong male energy, right? And in nature, we have basically the whole world on Earth consists of two pairs of opposites. One is dark, another one is light, right? Shady and sunny. Sunny is obviously young, strong energy, and shady energy is yin energy, feminine energy. Sun is young energy, moon is feminine energy. So when we're talking about female health, we are thinking about feminine essence, the feminine gentle essence. But it does not mean that women are only gentle. So Qigong that I practice and offer, recently offered in New York City and now offering in Kingston and Anahata yoga studio, is absolutely wonderful in restoring your essence as a spiritual being, as well as just like being a person, simply being a person, dealing with whatever health issue or trying to prevent any health issue. I think this practice is super, super important for us as women to know. We have to basically know how to take care of our health because life is a little bit too stressful lately, you know. And I don't know if you guys noticed that it's like the intensity is picking up and it's getting harder and harder to handle things, and there are so many more situations that are just like are not in our control, right? I know that that's what's happening in my life for sure. And you know, the more you practice, like I'm definitely on a kind of a spiritual path where I choose to pass lessons, to go through lessons with more depth, utilizing tools from Qigong, Kundalini yoga, and other traditions. And I'm definitely having an intense time. I cannot imagine what about other people, you know. So female health in Chinese medicine is definitely, Chinese medicine takes our health in the form of a metaphor, always. You know, one is fascinating for me is that the womb in the women's in Chinese medicine is considered to be second heart. You know, we treat a womb in Chinese medicine as if we were treating a heart. How do we know that it's a heart? It's a nurturing quality to this. The womb has a nurturing quality. It has its own intelligence where it reacts to things and can store emotions like the heart does. It has the memory, can contain anger, can contain fear, contain shame, of course, because that's what, you know, in any culture we're taught, in Western culture we're taught that the shame around the sexuality, right? It stores worry. So the womb is like, it has its own intelligence, and for the most part, women and just people in general are not aware that maybe in the heart we feel right away, we feel the wound, we feel pain, and then stored emotions like from the past come up. We feel everything in the heart, but we're so trained not to feel what's happening in our womb. We never even question what's there, you know. And in women especially, the womb is connected to the heart because of our nurturing. Katyusha, здравствуй. Hi. Because of our nurturing qualities, you know, because we're born to bear children. You know, the womb is, I did this one shamanic journey with my friend Sarah, and she did a journeying into the womb. And when I got in with my very meditative state of mind, I felt that that was like being in a cave, very, very cozy cave, a very soft and gentle light that felt like I was in a church or something. Yeah, very interesting topic about female health and how women perceive and not perceive the sacredness of their womb. So, and that moment, that was my first discovery, how sacred my womb felt. It was like such a sacred, cozy place to be in, you know. And if you ever want to have a child, where the child would be, and of course in a very cozy place. But if the womb stores some sort of anger, or it stores resentment, you know, that would be very hard and maybe not so cozy place to be in, you know. But how would you know that your womb got hurt by anger or fear or something like that? Of course, physical symptoms. In female health, the anger is super connected to period, to menstruation. It's due to the fact that the gallbladder meridian goes through the womb by internal channels, and gallbladder and liver connected by the negative emotion of anger, frustration, resentment. So if we have that in our lives, anger, frustration, resentment, these energies tend to be stuck in the channels. And when it's stuck, it goes through the womb. We might have very painful period, or very irregular, or something. There would be some deviation in our cycle, you know. So the anger is really not a healthy quality for our female health, although very necessary to have anger, to express it. We absolutely need to express it by punching the pillow or something, or shouting it somewhere in the woods, you know. It absolutely has to be expressed instead of suppressing. That's another topic. Suppressing the anger leads to bringing the toxicity into the joints. That's what I've received, suppressing the anger, not respecting anger, and not wanting to feel it. I suppress it into my joints. The toxicity has the quality to store in the joints, right? So female health directly connected to our gallbladder meridian. And if you somewhere during the months between your periods felt tremendous anger, I guarantee that you will have lots of pain during your period, which is absolutely unpleasant, as we know. But what happens, the energy stagnation, but also the cramping of the muscles, small tiny muscles, as well as whatever tendons or connective tissue we might have around the womb. It also get tight. And so the solution would be not to take pills, but basically to cleanse the gallbladder meridian. And that would be, the solution would be to do some Radiant Lotus Women's Qigong that I'm going to teach in Kingston on this coming Saturday on the 9th from 2 to 5. I will teach you simple techniques that do not require any visit to the doctor, to simply tap on your belly in a specific way to release any stagnation, so you don't have painful periods anymore. And that, of course, will bring more blood flow to this area and to get rid of anything that is growth, like cysts or anything that you're not supposed to have in your female reproductive system, right? Anything that we created in our body through emotions, through wrong food, eating wrong food, or even thoughts, having toxic relationships, right? Due to toxic relationships, when we argue with our boyfriends and husbands, we get hurt in our hearts. But because of the nature of our relationship that is sexual, right? Our womb and heart are so connected. So that's how we get hurt in our womb, by arguing, by having just experiencing disrespect from our boyfriends and husbands. That's how womb and ovaries and reproductive system get hurt. And the energy is the quality that if it doesn't move, if it gets stuck in a form of resentment or fear, if it's constantly fed, it has a quality to store. Energy is a very real thing. It's not just something that you would think, oh, I just felt the sensation and it left like electricity. Energy it's a very real thing. If you ever practice Qigong, you know that you create electricity in your hands, you create an energy ball with intention, you can put it inside of your body for healing. But if something like this was created from an angry thought or fearful thought, or anything that is a worry, or a little bit too much grief and sadness, that energy has a quality to materialize and go into your womb because of the nature of the relationships or whatever. However, the relationship was manifesting on a sexual level. It has a quality to go into your body and store. and a very slow effect of that is that the pathogenic energy starts to manifest on a physical level. I had a client once who had myoma, who has myoma, and she desperately wanted to have a child. And what is a myoma? It's a stone-like growth inside the womb that is very, very hard. So, and whenever we do exercises to stimulate blood flow, it starts bleeding. So it's like a totally opposite effect. In Chinese medicine, we say that people who have myoma have unfulfilled. One of the reasons is that the person had an unfulfilled desire to have a child. So the desire connected with whatever anger, frustration, and any other emotions created this stagnant energy inside the womb, and the stagnant energy kind of grows into something physical that can be deleted surgically, can be cut surgically, or the second thing is that we work with our mind. We direct energy gently inside our womb and dissolve the myoma. So in women's Qigong that I teach different kinds of approaches to women's health, super gentle energy based on moving the energy through your mind. You know that in Qigong. The energy follows your mind. Energy is something that is intangible but has it's controlled by our own thoughts. Even that you might not feel something at the beginning, let's say, your energy in your body still follows your thoughts. So I always tell this to children: analyze where your mind is going. Are you thinking about this or that or that? If you're thinking about this or that or that in your life every day during the day, you're basically spreading yourself thin, giving the energy to that part of your world. Let's say passion, horses. I deal with children who have horses. And so that's wonderful. You're feeding your passion with the horses. But if you're, let's say, feeding, I have to do this and this and that, you already spend your mind, spend energy thinking that. And guess what? By the time you finish thinking that, you already have no energy to fulfill your tasks. It's because your mind gives the energy. Your energy from the physical body, from your heart, from your mental energy, everything goes to wherever you think. You're losing that energy to that thought, to that object or activity, you know. So the main thing for us to realize here is that the mind has the quality to either feed you with energy if you direct your thoughts inside, or allows you to lose your energy, right? So whenever we learn Qigong, we learn to direct our thoughts, specifically target the areas that we want to work on: physical health, emotional health, any traumas, sexual traumas, heart traumas, mental traumas. We learn how to direct that energy towards ourselves and heal ourselves using different techniques. The thoughts are directed in us, but what do? There are specific exercises in Qigong, in Kundalini Yoga, that help us to cleanse from past traumas, from the weight of the life experiences that we had, as well as figure out why we suddenly got this cyst or tumor in our breasts or in our womb or in our ovaries, right? It allows us to not just go in depth, but also use the techniques, ancient techniques from China that may be 5,000 years old, maybe 8,000 years old, but no less than 5,000, to heal what is malfunctioning or stagnant or toxic in our body, mind and spirit, you know. So the female Qigong, which is called Radiant Lotus Women's Qigong, was developed by Daisy Lee, world traveling Qigong teacher and master of her arts, and she inherited all of these beautiful arts from different teachers, including Tibetan teachers, that they gave her this Tibetan Sounds to heal female health, to heal breasts, to heal everything that is wrong in your whole body, and to heal hormones, you know. So these are very gentle, yet very profound and very profound and effective practices that came to us from that teacher. And I learned this form in 2009. I've known this form for 10 years now. In March it's going to be like 10 years. And these are the practices that are highly effective to prevent any health issue. But also they have proven to be effective to fight any tumors, cancers, cysts, but also overall state of health. When I was going through my Qigong training with Daisy Lee, and that was Radiant Lotus Women's Qigong, that was a 5-day course where we would come at about 9 o'clock in the morning and finish maybe 5:30, 6 p.m. And we had these women who had health problems that were visible. One woman had very bulging eyes. She had a problem with thyroid. I don't remember what the name of the disease Lou Gehrig disease or something like this. Something like this. It had the name of the person who discovered the disease. And the eyes were really, really bulging. And she was wearing special glasses, basically toned, not to see everything 100%, as well as for vision. By the third day, we really noticed that her eyes were halfway in, basically almost normal. And we were so surprised. Only 3 days of Qigong, of immersion into Qigong, and she was okay. And then by the end of the 5th day, she had normal eyes. That's how effective Qigong, internal peace, and the center were. And that was amazing, amazing results. The only thing is when she came back home, she stopped doing Qigong. She came back to the same stressful life. She didn't make adjustments inside of herself not to react to things. She, and maybe the circumstances were such that she was not able to. She had a family of basically 4 maybe grown children already. I'm not quite sure anymore. But anyway, her eyes came back to what they were before. But just imagine how quickly her chronic issue came back, just came back to 0 and manifested in pure health within just 5 days of immersion of female Qigong. And there was nothing we did for thyroid, basically. We did everything for female health. We did everything for peace of mind. We released emotions. Daisy held the space for us to be in deep, deep peace and connection with ourselves. So in this Qigong, we learn how to hold the space for ourselves, to heal ourselves, like once I did it for myself when I got sick with arthritis. I had to learn to hold space for myself, not to allow any distractions to bring me out of peace. Everybody has potential to heal everything in their body, but it does require changing your thoughts, changing your reactions, emotions, and of course that manifests on a physical level. That requires a discipline that is not so hard, but a super gentle discipline, meaning if somebody is trying to test your reactions, somebody is trying to test your character, again, you choose not to react. And that comes with training, and that comes with time. Just a second. Do you want a computer? Yeah. Okay, I'll give you a computer. Okay, go ahead. My husband wanted to use a computer. So this is what I teach people when I teach whatever Qigong, either it's Qigong for Yuan spirit, I teach women's Qigong, or I teach organ cleansing Qigong, or even yoga, any meditation. That's what I do. I teach to hold center number 1, to train to go inside in depths of yourself and not react to things that you normally would react easily, with anger, with frustration, with fear, worry, right? With resentment. Resentment is a big thing. So in this women's Qigong, we learn how to cleanse our health from our body from any toxicity, including toxicity from our breasts, toxicity from our womb, ovaries, any channels in our body, as well as we learn how to release stress, how to release any past issues, how to release whatever is no longer serving us through Qigong exercise, where we just really open our lower dantian, the energy center in the body, release it into forward, simply letting go of that energy, and then inviting everything that is new, that is positive and good, right? I teach people 7 healing sounds from Tibet that first of all cleanse the body of any toxicity. Like, you know, the story of the monks of Tibet, that they, how would they put huge bells on top somewhere in their temple? The story goes sometimes that they chant everything in unison so well that they're able to levitate heavy bells, right? So the monks are definitely the masters of their sound, and these Tibetan sounds that we're learning to chant are actually directed to cleanse everything that is toxic in upper body, then lower body, everything that is toxic in the breasts. We learn how to create the sound correctly. Second, how to direct it into the organ that you want to work on, and how to analyze with the sound the state of health of your body. The third pair of sounds consists of healing your hormones. So if someone is trying to have a baby, let's say, or somebody is going through menopause and they're and they're having a hard time with hot flashes or mood swings or whatever, you know, these sounds could be very helpful. You know, I know women, not just Oriental women who have no symptoms of menopause, right? I know Western women who do practices of Qigong, specific women's practices that they never went through menopausal symptoms, you know. You don't have to suffer, basically, and period does not have to be painful, and you don't have to have mood swings before period. And you know, my motto after I got sick and found the solution for my health through Qigong, my motto is now: never give up on your health. Especially your body has this absolute amazing tendency to heal itself. You're born with it. Every person is born with that. But we have to take away the obstacles that stop us, prevent us from feeling healthy, from feeling desperate and going to the doctors to do operations or take hormones or anything like that. So we have to trust that we're able and capable of healing our own mind, body, and spirit, as well as emotions from any traumas, you know. I was just in a very special retreat where I did the chanting of the mantra for 6 days. I was supposed to do 18 hours a day of chanting. It's very meditative, but I was able to do maximum 14, but it's okay. The thing is, as a result, I felt like such clarity in my mind, as if whatever happened, I don't know, half a year, during this half a year, whatever traumas happened this half a year or any other past years, they were lifted off my mind. We're able to change our mind during neuroplasticity, of course, but we're also capable of changing our state of emotions due to these practices. They used to be very secret and sacred. I mean, they're still sacred, but no longer secret. And that is a good, positive thing about our times, the crazy times that we're going through, that finally the tools to help us to go through life, the ocean of life, are here to help us. So if you think that you know somebody who could benefit from the practices of female practices I'm teaching in Kingston, New York, absolutely join me. that would be absolutely wonderful and effective for them or you to learn these practices. I'm just wondering, there are 2 people watching me, but does anybody have questions about these practices or female health? Okay. So another quality, metaphoric quality that I wanted to share with you is that in Chinese medicine, breasts are considered very nurturing. And so whenever a woman gets some sort of issue with her health, let's say breast cancer, immediately in Chinese medicine we think the nurturing quality of the woman has been compromised. What does it mean? A lot of the times that women get cancer, are so busy with whatever life they need to deal with. You know, they stop to, they forget to nurture themselves. They nurture everybody else, but they don't nurture themselves, meaning they don't get enough rest when they need to, and they don't have that, they don't need to. I mean, they stop having that quality quiet time with themselves that everybody needs, like 10 minutes a day with yourself at least, to sit in peace, quiet, connect with yourself, restore yourself. And when you have energy, go and serve your family, do whatever work you're doing, do your business, and anything that you need to do. But women absolutely are sometimes not aware how much it is important to spend time with themselves and restore that yin energy. It's because we're really not trained that to be able to handle many things in life. Let's say if you have many children or just a couple, if you, let's say, are not able to, if let's say you have a huge business to run, you know, the more you have to handle in life, the more spend time with yourself alone, restoring yourself. And that's because our yin nature, the yin energy that we give to people, nurturing energy, supporting our husband in their business and work, supporting their children in whatever school studies they have to deal with. Feeding, breastfeeding is absolutely nurturing, right? So whatever things that you have to do, holding family circle, like we call it in Russia, holding this family fire, meaning supporting the house, making the house cozy. Again, this nurturing quality is present. We have to give that nurturing quality. And if we give that yin energy a lot and not restore it, and then we turn into a little bit more aggressive person, we compromised our yin nature, we came out of the balance. And that's a danger. Every time we come out of the balance on a regular basis, that's a danger of compromising your health, your mind, your spirit. The nurturing quality of the woman that sometimes we don't notice is a very subtle energy. And I have some clients from Russia that I help with arthritis. I'm running this program for arthritis at the moment. A lot of women that got sick experienced some sort of disrespect from their husbands. Let's say, to give you an example, a husband opened up the business a few years ago, like many years ago, and his wife had her mom to take care of in the house, had little children, 2 children to take care of, as well as her husband asked her to take care of the business. When he was not there, basically help out every day. But At the same time, he didn't appreciate what she was doing. She was holding the space for him when he was gone. And whenever she would call him and say, okay, the refrigerator in our business broke, she was asking for, where can I find the telephone number of the person who we usually call to fix the refrigerators? To what he would answer, well, you're always calling me with some problems. You're never really helping me. Seriously, that's holding a space for something is the biggest job that you can ever do as a woman. And that means that you're not holding space for yourself. You're not going to rest. You're not doing, I don't know, manicure for yourself. The woman was so absolutely busy. So she got super sick, and she suppressed her anger. She never expressed anything negative, and that means that she spent her yin energy on everybody else and didn't restore herself. And unfortunately, that they still didn't figure out. He still does not see how much she did for him by holding space. We as women who have children or don't have children, we know that our yin energy supports whatever is around us. That means all of our attention, all of our center, all of our services go to the place that we're trying to support. To our husband, to the house, holding the space in the house. Cooking is nurturing. As soon as the woman decides not to do that anymore, there's no more cozy space in that house. It means that there's no more space to create. There's no more space to thrive. To thrive somewhere, you have to have an environment. And the big person who creates an environment in the house is usually the woman. Unless, of course, this is a very unusual situation where husband stays at home and creates this beautiful space. But the woman is born with that yin nature that creates a space, you know, that holding a space, electromagnetic being. That's who we are. And if that yin energy is hurt by insults, by arguments, by accusations, then just imagine how hard it is to carry that space, to carry that energy, yin energy, through the anger, through the frustration, through resentment that we get. I know that from experience, when somebody insults you, somebody is not appreciating you, and you still have to do your duties to cook or to hold the space or support and not be angry. It is super, super hard task. It's an enormous task. It's basically you, instead of being a river, you are trying to carry a rock on your shoulders. A woman is more of the yin energy, that is more like a flow, more like water. If that is supported in a woman, then there will be health, there will be happiness and love. So she's allowed to be herself, this electromagnetic being. So yin energy is very precious energy. It's like, it's very powerful. You know, yang energy is associated with something like men's, okay, it's punching, boom, and you destroy something. But the yin energy is very subtle, and it's very underappreciated in this world. Even, you know, a drop of water destroys the brick. It's very gentle, but more effective. If you compare medicine that is Western medicine with pills that work immediately, they're yang energy, but for some things they're very effective and they last. But for some things, like let's say the pills for arthritis did not work for me. If you take the pills away, arthritis comes back. But what Qigong is, no matter what Qigong you do for female health or anything else, it's of yin quality, it's yin nurturing quality that makes changes very gradual, very gentle, soft, sometimes unnoticeable, sometimes there's setbacks, but they're more permanent and they have lasting results for the rest of your life, as opposed to making boom, take a pill and that works, it's fine, you know. So the yin nurturing quality of the women is what restored during the Qigong practice of women within Radiant Lotus Qigong. So so nurturing quality of the breasts mean it's not just you nurture other people around you, but first of all you nurture yourself. When you're on airplane and the women and we are instructed on the plane to give a mask to yourself than to a child, that applies to whole life as well. You have to give a mask to yourself first. Sit in a quiet place, restore your center, restore who you are, even if it's in the bathroom, right? Even if you have time only in the bathroom. But whenever we have so many duties, that means we have to be more aware of our center than normal people. Restoring ourselves through Qigong if we lost our health, or prevent any loss of health through Qigong, gentle practices. And let me tell you, children, when they see Qigong, when they see their mommies or daddies practicing Qigong, they only are attracted to that. Even animals are attracted and sit nearby and enjoy the time while we practice Qigong. I mean, I had my kitty cat come and join me, and whenever we practice Qigong in a circle, somebody comes with the dog rushes into the circle and just lies down in the circle and is there, you know. And whenever I practice Qigong deep in peace or any meditation, guess what? Wild animals also come. What did you do, Kisa? What? A kitty cat. She got scared of something. What is a Kisa? She wants to get out, I think. Yes. So women's health Qigong, I would say, is more like a, I think everybody should learn this practice, learn to restore, learn the ancient wisdom, since the times are very different now, and we are required to take care of ourselves more and more on our own. Strengthen ourselves, make our immune system strong, make our mind strong, forget about PTSD. Not forget about it, but let it go, heal it, you know. Also this practice of energy is very helpful against any viruses. Let's say there's papillomavirus inside the woman's body. And how do you heal the virus? Through energy, because there are no pills, there are no solutions for this, except for immune system. Yes, you can strengthen your immune system with herbs, which is absolutely amazing. You can go to acupuncture, but also you can use the power of your mind to direct the energy and order any virus to leave your body, to push it away. And whatever I'm sharing with you guys comes from experience. I either experienced it myself or observed it on other women, whatever results they had. So it's nothing that I'm saying is based on some sort of ideas, you know. It's based on experience. And you know, our mind is super powerful. Energy follows your mind. We just never really learned that we can actually channel fresh energy that makes us full of physical energy, have open heart, allows us to have lots of love, compassion for ourselves, and give it to other people. And our mind can actually heal whatever is inside our body as well. So whenever we order something get out of our body, we're actually doing it. If we're experiencing some sort of pain, we can simply pull it out and release it into the ground and allow more healing, you know. Qigong is a pretty magical thing, but if you connect it to quantum physics, it's more or less like physics, you know. But since we're not aware of it, it's still new to most of the people. We perceive it as something like unrealistic maybe, or something maybe too magical. But let me tell you, we're just basically covering the tip of the iceberg of what consciousness is possible, what consciousness can do in our lives, what our mind can do. And what are those tiny little particles that we consist of, negative ions, can do for us. By the way, negative ions are very, very healthy for us, and they're produced by ocean waves as well as pine trees in the forest. So if you want to heal yourself, you go to the ocean or the sea that has crashing waves, as well as the pine tree forest. So if you want to heal yourself, improve your mood, you create that environment that is fresh of negative ions, because that's what we get healthy from. Okay, guys, that was a pleasure talking with you. And my workshop on women's health is this Saturday, March 9th, right after Women's Day. International Women's Day is March 8th. And it's from 2 to 5 in Kingston, New York. And see my post below. Looking forward to seeing you and your friends.